Sacrifice your son as a burnt offering, Abram was told by God. Mothers, what would you do if your husband came home and told you that God told him to offer your son as a burnt offering? In the tapestry of human history, few stories stand out as testaments to unwavering faith and trust in a higher purpose than the life of Abram, a pivotal figure in the biblical traditions of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Abram's journey serves as a profound example of walking in faith and trusting God in the journey ahead, despite uncertainties and challenges. As we delve into the life of Abraham to glean valuable lessons about navigating life's uncertainties with faith as our guiding light. The various stories in the life of Abram show the relationship and communication that God and Abram had, which serves as motivation for us to develop a similar relationship with God. As we continue to walk in the footsteps of Abraham, we invite you to participate in this journey too. If you're enjoying this exploration of Abraham's life and his unwavering faith, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to our channel. Our journey through biblical stories is far from over, and we have many more enlightening and inspiring narratives to share. So make sure you hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest content. Stay tuned for more inspiring stories that not only entertain but also teach us valuable life lessons. As Abram embarked on his journey, with his wife, his nephew, and his servants, they encountered numerous challenges. When Abram reached the land of Canaan, the Lord told him that he was going to give this land to him and his seed. Abram believed what the Lord told him. What is the Lord telling you in your situation? Famine broke out in the land of Canaan, so Abram left Canaan and went with his family to Egypt. There Abram faced a dilemma. He feared for his life. Abram surmised that the Egyptians would want his wife Sarai because of her beauty, and that they would kill him and take her. As predicted, the Egyptians liked Sarai, and Abram told them she was his sister. They gave Abram many gifts, but took Sarai into the palace. Wives and husbands, what do you think about what Abraham did? Wives, how would you feel about your husband if he did that? Fortunately for them both, the Lord plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife. This prevented them from having sexual pleasure with Sarai. They sent Abram and Sarai away. When they left Egypt, they were rich because of the gifts that they had gotten from the Egyptians. They then went back to Canaan. The Lord reassured Abram that he was not to fear because he was his shield and his exceeding great reward. Abram asked God for a child because Sarai struggled with infertility. The Lord told him that he would give him a great number of offspring. Abram believed in the Lord, and he counted it to him for righteousness. What a great promise God gave Abram. What are the promises that Jesus has given you? Do you have the faith to believe in Jesus' promises to you? When Abram left Haran to go to Canaan, he was 75 years old. He had the promise of God that his wife would have a son, however, after 10 years, Genesis 16:3. Sarai got frustrated because she was still not able to have a child. She told Abram to have a child with her maid, Hagar. Their faith was being tested and they lost patience and took matters into their own hands. What would you do if you were in their situation? Have you ever lost patience while waiting for the Lord to fulfill his promises to you? This teaches us that walking in faith often involves enduring periods of waiting and trusting that the journey will unfold according to God's divine timeline. Abram had many setbacks during his journey. He faced famine, conflicts, and numerous other challenges. However, each setback became an opportunity for him to strengthen his faith. In our lives, setbacks are inevitable. But like Abram, we can navigate them with trust, knowing that they are part of a greater plan. Abraham had sex with Hagar, and they had a son named Ishmael. Now, when Abram was 90 years old, 90, Genesis 17, God called him again and changed his name from Abram to Abraham, and Sarai's name was changed from Sarai to Sarah. God also told Abraham that he was going to be the father of many nations, and he was establishing his covenant with him. God said Sarah would bring forth a child, and that he would bless her, and she would be a mother of nations, and kings of people shall be of her. Then Abraham fell upon his face, and laughed, and said in his heart, Shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah, that is 90 years old, bear? And God said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son. Indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac, and I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. Does the promise of God seem crazy to you sometimes? God was on his way to Sodom and Gomorrah when he stopped by his friend Abraham and informed him that, Genesis 18, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life, and, lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. Sarah heard it, and laughed within herself, saying, She is too old for sex and having children, and Abraham was old also. And the Lord said unto Abraham, Wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, Shall I of a surety bear a child, which am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the time appointed I will return unto thee according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. Then Sarah denied, saying, I laughed not, for she was afraid. And he said, Nay, but thou didst laugh. Sarah conceived and had a son named Isaac when Abraham was 100 years old. It took 25 years for that promise to be fulfilled, Genesis 21. Many times when we read the Bible, and when preachers preach, it seems that many of the miracles of God happen immediately, but most times it takes time, which requires us to have patience. Do you have this kind of patience? Now being told to offer him up as a burnt sacrifice, what a challenging and perplexing directive. I had asked earlier, what would be your response to this directive from God? Abraham's unwavering obedience showcased a depth of trust that transcends human understanding. This narrative invites us to reflect on our willingness to surrender control and trust in the divine plan, even when faced with the most difficult circumstances. How close, how intimate is your relationship with Jesus Christ? Are you his friend? Abraham's journey is a timeless narrative that resonates across cultures and religions, offering profound insights into the nature of faith and trust. As we navigate the uncertainties of our own lives, we can draw inspiration from Abraham's example, embracing the call to adventure, facing uncertainties with faith, patiently enduring, navigating setbacks with trust, and ultimately surrendering to a higher purpose. Walking in faith is not just a journey, it's a transformative experience that shapes our character and deepens our connection to something greater than ourselves. Like Abraham, let us trust the journey ahead, for in faith, we find the strength to overcome, evolve, and discover the purpose woven into the very fabric of our existence. Thank you for walking this journey of faith with us. Abraham's story is a testament to the power of trust, patience, and surrender in the face of uncertainty. If you, like us, find inspiration in these profound narratives, we urge you to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue sharing these timeless stories and lessons. Stay tuned for our upcoming videos, where we'll explore more journeys of faith, opening doors to wisdom and inspiration. Remember, in every step of faith, there's a story waiting to be told. Please watch our next video, Trust and Obey. Navigating Faith Conflicts.